Good afternoon. It's that time of year, for me at least. It's that time of year for getting sloshed on large amounts of undrinkably strong, rough scrumpy. This tree here gave up its bounty last week, and I turned all of that into juice. I'll just show you. I've frozen a few of these 2-litre bottles full of apple juice. You can see it's very dark and cloudy and murky looking. It's not like the nice clear stuff you get from the shops, but then that stuff in the shops is full of preservatives and all sorts of rubbish. This is just 100% pure apple juice, frozen. So that was the first batch that came purely off of that tree there. Now this lot here has come from the allotment, and that's all going to get made into scrumpy. I'll show you what I do. I'm not starting it today. This is just a little intro. We'll pick up on this tomorrow. But I've got my apples here. I've got my Chemsan. That's my sterilising stuff. Got some wine yeast. I prefer to use wine yeast because it takes it to a higher alcohol percentage than beer yeast does. The first thing I do once what I'm going to do this evening, I'm just going to rinse off the apples with the hose, and I might even soak them in some sterilising solution just to make doubly sure. And then tomorrow I need to put them through this. Just ignore the fact that I've removed all of the safety guards. That is actually necessary for putting apples through it, but it does a great job. This belongs to me, this one. You chuck your apples in the top, it mashes them all up and they fall out the bottom. Oh, by the way, I'm doing all of this one-handed, which is good fun. Yeah, so you get your pulp, you mash it all up in the Ryobi, and then once you've got a couple of buckets full of pulp. Hello, you. What are you up to? Scaring the cats. You put it in one of these. This belongs to my cousin Daniel. He uses it and I use it. We both make cider. It goes through here, you wind it down. Oh, sorry, that's hurting my wrist. You put it through, you wind it down, and it presses it all. And then you get your apple juice, which is what I've just shown you in the shed, basically. And then once that's done, I'll put it in these fermentation bins. I'm not sure, I might do it in bins. It depends how much juice I get. I would imagine from that, I mean, you don't get much, to be honest. I might get 2 gallons out of that. So I might ferment it in a bin, or I might ferment it in a couple of demijohns there. I'm not sure which, I'm yet to decide. We'll see how much I end up with. But this is going to be good fun. I also chuck in a load of sugar. These are quite early apples. All of my apples are quite early varieties. But I have picked them all in one go. I've not waited for them to drop. So they're not necessarily going to have quite as much sugar as if I'd left them on the tree a bit longer. But that doesn't matter because I throw in a couple of bags of sugar anyway, just to get it up to 9%. Okay, that's a bloody good start. I thought I was going to fill... Hello, Jonesy. I thought I was going to fill 2 of these fermentation bins with apples for sterilising. Now, I know from previous years that 1 fermentation bin full of apples equates to about a gallon. So I thought I was going to get 2. Looks like I'm going to get 3. Catch you tomorrow. Early Saturday morning.
Come this way, bruv.
I haven't started on the cider yet. I'm just seeing the old girl off. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know where. There goes Ian in his Chevy. Goodbye, Greta. I'll miss you, darling. I'll miss you. Right, good morning. Back on the cider then. I've got myself set up. I've got these ones here have been emptied out and rinsed. These ones have been emptied out, they're going to be next. And I've already started putting some of these through the muncher in the top there, and that's what you get out the bottom. Really nice, you can see it dripping. Really nice juicy shredded apples, and they're oxidising already. They're already turning brown, but that can't be helped unless you want to start chucking chemicals at it. Right, let's just give you a very quick demo of this in action. There you go, don't drop the camera. Let's try and get some in. They don't need much persuasion. Put them in 2 or 3 at a time. Soon work their way through. There we go. Right, I'm going to keep doing that until I've got through this bucket, and then I don't think I'm going to shred the whole lot in one go, because that's quite a lot. I think I'll get this bucket done, fill that up with pulp, and we'll take it down there and juice it. There's our first of 3 buckets of mush, or pomace I think they prefer to call it. We're ready to stick it in here. Let's see if I can set the tablet up so you can see what I'm doing. Right, we've got a straining bag in there, bucket full of pomace, and a sterile bucket to catch the juice. Now this is where I get descended on by every wasp and fruit fly within a 50-mile radius. I think because of the fruit flies, once I've got the juice, I am going to have to add some Campden tablets to sterilise the juice, because otherwise I'm just going to get 3 gallons of vinegar, and I don't want 3 gallons of vinegar, I want 3 gallons of cider. There's fruit flies around already, so I'm going to be adding some Campden tablets once it's pressed. Right, get some in. Everything's sterilised. One thing I've just realised I've forgotten, you really always want just a bucket of clean water next to you, because just being able to rinse your hands between doing tasks is useful. Luckily there's a tap just there, so I'm going to disappear around there in a second when I've done this. Now you don't want to overfill it. I'll probably have a little bit there actually. And the other thing is you want a bit of slack in the bag. If you have the bag really tight, when you start pressing it, it can just stretch and break the bag. So just make sure you've got it all nice and loose. Right, I'm just going to rinse my hands. Right, now the fun bit. make sure it's all lined up. And we're in. Here it comes. I'm going to grab a glass back in a sec. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a mixture of, I think, 5 different types of apple from up the allotment. Whereas the juice I made the other day was all of that tree in the garden. Still coming. This one's nearly done. You'll see the, what do they call it, the cake that comes out at the end. Oh, it's not easy. Yeah. Oh, I think that's all we're going to get. Let that drain off. And I'll open it up and show you what's left. That's what's left of the shredded apples after they've been through the press. Just dry, crumbly. That'll all go up to the allotment. If I manage to get it up there before it starts to naturally ferment, I'll give some to the chickens. But if it's already started smelling a bit boozy by the time I get it up there, I don't want the chickens getting drunk. I'll just chuck it on the compost. And that's how much juice we just got. There's about 2 litres there out of that first pressing, and there's probably another 2 pressings worth left in there. So it looks like we will be getting about 1 gallon per bin full of pomace. Excellent. That first bin's worth of apples has yielded, actually it looks about 6.5 litres. So that's a good few pints more than 1 gallon. That's pretty good. And now all I need to do is repeat all of the same again with the other 2 buckets worth. And I'm not going to put you through all that. It's going to take me a while. So I'll come back towards the end of the day and show you how much juice we've ended up with. This is the final press now. This is the last of the apples all juiced. And I've actually ended up with a lot more juice than I expected. Just squeeze this last little bit out and see exactly what we've got. But I reckon we might have 4 gallons, and I was going to be happy with 2. excellent. I make that, what, 18.5, 19 litres? Well, that's just over 4 gallons. I've done really well there. I'm pleased with that. Now, I'm going to call it a day in a minute. This will be the end of part 1, and part 2 will come in a couple of days' time. Let's just take a quick gravity reading and see what we've got in there in the way of natural sugars from the apples before I go adding whatever I need. What have we got there? We've got 1.040. Right. 1.040. I think, to be honest, even as it stands, that should give us a cider of about 5%. Let me just check the chart. Yeah, 040 will give us a percentage of 4.3 as it is. However, I'm going to be adding enough sugar to get this up to 070, which should give us about 9%. What I need to do now is, because I did opt in the end to put the Camden tablets in there, just to make sure it's all sterile. If I were to add the yeast now, the yeast would die because it's got Camden tablets in it. But what I need to do now is cover that up and let it sit for 48 hours, which will mean the Camden tablets have done their thing, become inert again, and at that point I'll be able to add the yeast. So that's going to be part 2, which will be in 2 days' time. See you soon.